JD Vance joke. I didn't understand that initially. All right. But speaking of thank yous, thank you to Claudia Scheinbaum for stepping up to the plate and just, pushing back against Donald Trump. It seems it's not just Claudia Scheinbaum, though. Let's be real. It's the car manufacturers that went to Trump and were like, the fuck are you doing, dog? I don't think you understand how the manufacturing works, how the manufacturing of American vehicles works, okay? And they have delayed the tariffs on Mexico once again until April.
Mexico on Monday. Well, those are apparently not happening, at least when it comes to Canada and, to Mexico and not Canada. He is reversing some of them, at least maybe. Frankly, the reason why it's hard for us to describe is because nobody knows what exactly is happening. The president's Commerce Secretary said this morning that he was likely to postpone them for at least a month. But then minutes ago, President Trump said that they are going to delay those tariffs for Mexico, but not Canada. Washington, Wall Street, and Main Street have a lot riding on this. Everybody is extremely confused. Maybe Jeff Zeleny is not one of those people. Jeff, you're standing outside the White House. You're on the North Lawn. Can you give us any sense of what all this means?
Well, Dana, if there's any question of why the market has been so confused and rattled in recent days, I think the events of the last really hour sum it up quite perfectly, and certainly of the last month. The president often threatens tariffs. This time he went through with tariffs, and now we are learning that he is pulling back those tariffs. Let's start with Mexico. President Trump this morning had a call with Mexican President Claudia Scheinbaum. He reported out a little bit of what they said, and in that, he said he is lifting the Mexico tariffs for at least a month. Let's take a look at his rationale as he explained it on social media. He said, I did this as an accommodation and out of respect for President Scheinbaum. Our relationship has been a very good one, and we are working hard together. He goes on to say to stop undocumented immigrants and fentanyl. Then he also is using this to contrast his conversation yesterday with...
I'm going to tell you something. What's even crazier about what's going on here? Yeah, why are we watching ONN? Oh, this is CNN. Yeah, it's straight up One America News Network everywhere. New York Times' Michael Barbaro did a daily podcast about not the tariffs necessarily, but a little bit about the tariffs as well. And like Trump's actions against like fentanyl manufacturers in Mexico and the cartel, and how it's got the Mexican government shaking in its boots and it's got the cartel shaking in its boots. Like they straight up did a glaze piece on Donald Trump. It was one of the most shocking pieces of pro-regime propaganda I've seen from the New York Times in quite a bit. I mean, it was like Joe Brandon, his mental faculties are actually an order level of glazing. It's pretty crazy. Wait, what? Trump plans to deport Ukrainians who sought sanctuary in the U.S.? Hey, no. That is insane. Oh my God, bro. I didn't even, what? There's no way. There's just no shot. I don't think he's doing that. Trump to revoke legal status for 240,000 Ukrainians as U.S. steps up deportations? Bro, he literally heard people go, if you got problems with refugees, why not with Ukrainian refugees? And instead of like addressing this hypothetical that is supposed to expose the hypocrisy, he said, nah, I'm not white supremacist. I just hate straight up every refugee. Or he's also saying Slavs are no longer white. He's officially moved Slavs down, Hitler style, moved Slavs down to the non-white category, actively. Who knows? We are regressing. Straight up. White status revoked, Ukrainians. I'm just letting you know. All the Slavs. Listen to the Poles, to the Polish, to the Baltics, to the Eastern Europeans. I'm going to tell you right now, this right here, welcome back. Okay? Welcome back. We're in it now. Where you are now relegated to a lower category. Okay? And I say this as a white man who has Muslim background, so obviously I get a touch of that. I'm looking right at you, Italians, okay? He's coming for you next. He's coming for you next, dude. You better watch out. Oh, yeah. All right. Hold on, I got to talk. No, anyway, let's continue with these tariffs, and then I'll get back to the Ukraine stuff.
So he has not yet said that he's going to lift the tariffs on Canada, but that is coming, and we learned that today from Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick.
My expectation is the president will come to the agreement today, and hopefully we will announce this today, that USMCA compliant goods will not have a tariff for the next month until April 2nd. Hopefully Mexico and Canada will have done a good enough job on fentanyl that this part of the conversation will be off the table and we'll move just to the reciprocal tariff conversation.
So look, yesterday, President Trump in the White House was saying that Canada had not done enough on fentanyl. Today, the Commerce Secretary says Canada has done enough. That underscores one reality, that fentanyl is not it may be the stated reason, but it's not the actual reason that the tariffs have been put in place, because very little fentanyl comes from Canada. From Mexico, however, it does. So, Dana, the bottom line to all of this is we have seen the president, he's a believer in tariffs, there's no doubt about it, but when he starts hearing the pushback and seeing the pushback in the markets, he reacts and changes his mind. We're told he will be speaking on this later this afternoon, and the White House is also saying that the reciprocal tariffs, the bigger batch, if you will, is still going into effect on April 2nd. But I think now every time we talk about the threat of tariffs, we have to keep in mind, sometimes he gives them and sometimes he takes them away. Dana?
Bro, that's such a okay. Sometimes he gives them and sometimes he takes them away. Okay, nice, dude. Thank you. Good take. Yeah, Donald Trump is doing some real wild stuff. I'm not going to lie. It's just this is truly the Ottoman Empire of America. Not even, dude. He's Turkifying the country. It's like this is the Turkification of America and the Turkification of Donald Trump. Let's not deify Trump. I mean, he is the Christian caliphate, okay? He is the brave Christian warrior, the Christian caliphate. He's got the mandate of heaven. The true Caesar with the hair plugs. Oh, bro, the cancer kid.
Mathieu.
Bro, I don't want to see this kid anymore. I just don't care about it. It's like very obviously a child. Why are people talking about this child constantly back and forth? Like, there's like liberals who are yelling about the child, and every conservative loves propping up this kid to be like, oh, I guess you hate black children with brain cancer. And they think this is like an incredible own. It's like, no, man, shut up. No one thinks this, okay? Like, what? In before Hassan reviews the platform, Black Success? True. That's me. That's what I do.
Or maybe he won't take them away. We still are not clear beyond what he posted about Mexico what that means for Canada and beyond. Jeff, thank you so much. The uncertainty is not confined to Pennsylvania Avenue. Business leaders from Wall Street to Main Street are definitely feeling it too. I want to go right now to Matt Egan, who has been talking to those business owners. And Matt, it is not a coincidence that Howard Lutnick went on a business network to say these are perhaps not going to happen now. A business network that everybody who is on Wall Street watches.
From my spot.
It seems to me that
Mediterranean.
what he was trying to do was
to
correct the markets, which are totally
it's going to be later,
confused
like,
and
after
worried.
we
And we
interview
all
Simone,
know
or
that
during the interview,
confusion
maybe?
is not a place that the market wants to be. And we also know that the markets are an indicator of an economy that President Trump has historically been very, very keen to watch.
Yeah, that's right, Dana. Look, business owners, CEOs, investors, they crave stability. But what we're getting right now is a whole lot of uncertainty and, frankly, chaos, right? It feels like each week or maybe even each hour, there's new tariffs that are threatened, right? Some of them kick in, some of them are pulled back at the last moment after a very good phone call between President Trump and a world leader. Others are still looming.
Bro. I'm a firm and committed believer, and I've repeated this quite a bit, as you guys know. I'm a firm and committed believer in the idea that these people are still led by like some semblance of logic, and then there are people in their orbit that know better, and they're the ones who are just like pushing and pulling on certain levers. But whenever I see stuff like this, okay, whenever I see Trump go out, say there's tariffs, and then immediately roll it back, and then say, just kidding, there's tariffs again. Oh, the tariffs just got 10 feet taller, you know? Whenever I see him do stuff like that, I do genuinely feel like maybe we are at the mercy of a madman. Like, that's not how it's supposed to go, and I still am not fully signed off on this idea that, like, no, it's just like Donald Trump's world and we're living in it. Okay? But I just, like, chatters are saying stock manipulation, right? It's for stock manipulation. It's like market manipulation. That would be a logical answer. I don't think it's for that. You know what I mean? Like, that would be logical. That would be logical if they're like actually trying to put together this like incredibly clever, devilish scheme where they're just taking advantage of the market movements over and over again. And you could trace that stuff pretty easily, by the way. You could definitely figure that out with ease. It wouldn't be that difficult if you saw like who's making the most money and then what level of association they have with Donald Trump from the stock market tanking whenever this kind of stuff comes out. Who's like shorting it, right? But I don't think that that's what's going on. Why don't you think that? That's not true with offshore companies. You can't trace it. What do you mean? You can still see if someone is... they would be making billion-dollar moves. You know what I mean? Even if it's an offshore account, you can still trace it. You can trace it on the American side. You can trace the offshore companies. You just can't link it back to Donald Trump. Also, American companies don't usually offshore stuff anyway. Americans don't usually offshore stuff because we have inshoring. We have states in this country that basically work as a tax haven anyway. And offer you a level of protection, offer you a level of privacy. Anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. Yeah, you got Delaware right there. But also, I'm saying I don't even think that's the case. I think he's just like straight up going back and forth. There is no like discernible. There's no real decipherable reason behind why he's doing it. He's just like kind of doing it just because he can, it feels like. I don't know.
Look at this tariff timeline. This is just tariffs related to Mexico, Canada, and China. And just since late November, there's been so many major moves. This doesn't even account for the tariffs that have been threatened on steel or aluminum or copper, or the reciprocal tariffs, or the tariffs on nations that threaten the US dollar. I mean, we literally could not fit all of the major tariff actions on one full screen. And look, if you're a CEO, if you're a business owner, this is not what you want to see, right? They famously hate uncertainty, but it's hard to imagine a more uncertain environment than this, because think about it, a lot of them are trying to figure out the cost of their goods, but they don't know what the cost of their goods is going to be because they don't know where tariffs are going to be. So they don't know if they should be raising prices or lowering them. Should they be firing workers or hiring them? Should they be investing more or less? There's actually an uncertainty index when it comes to trade policy, and it is through the roof. It has skyrocketed to all-time highs, surpassing.
I think you got to get to a level of instability so maddening that the market confidence goes away. And that's officially where we're at. Like, normally, market response to the insanity that happens with Donald Trump doesn't really shake investor confidence all that much, because they're just like, yeah, whatever. It's the American economy. Obviously, I'm always going to believe that the American companies are just going to be wealthier and wealthier. Market always goes up, never goes down, right? but now Donald Trump has done the unthinkable. He's shaken market confidence finally by spiking the football, and then immediately you're trying to recover it, and then spiking it even further over and over again. He's done it. He's done the damn thing. There it is.
Passing anything that we've seen going back to 1960, including even higher than during President Trump's first term. And that makes sense because what he's doing is just so much more aggressive in terms of size and scope than during his first term. I talked to a business owner in California who owns a pet supply store. And he said, look, he's not a fan of the tariffs, but it's the uncertainty that's even worse. He said it's just...
Okay, I'm kidding. Hold on. Ignore everything I just said. As an apolitical content creator, I have to repeat once again that Donald Trump is brilliant and he's a businessman. How many businesses have you bankrupted? He's bankrupted 7, okay? Talk to me when you've bankrupted at least like 3 or 4, and then you'll understand the ways, the fascinating ways in which his mind works, okay? As an apolitical centrist content creator who doesn't do politics at all, who hates politics, who abhors politics, I'm here to tell you that what Trump is doing is based, actually. He's based in stock market maxing. He is stock market pilled. Okay? He's Dow Jones pilled. He's doing that. Yeah, bankrupting 7 businesses means he's run 7 businesses. Okay? That means he's run 7 businesses into the ground. How many businesses have you run? 0. Shut the fuck up. Okay? I'm going to do some pragmatic and nuanced political analysis here and tell you that he knows. Trust the plan. Trust the plan, everybody. I like that the 4chanification of internet has basically completed, and now virtually all Trump supporters are QAnon. You know, there's no more QAnon because everyone is QAnon. There's no more 4chan because everyone is doing 4chan shit. Fantastic. Pragmanabi, yep. Pragmatic Abby. Yeah. Dow Jones, more like Donald John Trump Jones. Yeah, that's right.
Very stressful right now because he's trying to follow it all, but he just can't keep up. And I would just note that from the White House perspective, I do think an element of this trade volatility is probably a feature. It's not a bug, right? The president views tariffs as a way to gain leverage over other nations. And so by keeping everyone guessing, it enables the president to put even more pressure. But look, Dana, we are seeing this show up in the real economy, and it is really starting to pressure things.
Yeah, and as you were talking, we just got an update on where the Dow is, Matt, down 500 points. And so this is clearly what Howard Lutnick was trying to arrest, that drop. Thank you so much for that. And we should also note that we're going to be talking tomorrow, no doubt, because
I do like that. I do like that the Trump administration is basically doing the age-old meme of listen up, liberal, and then you just like smear your shit all over the walls, and that's it. Like that. He's just like, yeah, do you feel owned now? Do you feel owned now? Guess what, dude? You're going to feel extra owned, okay? What now, libtard? Fantastic. Thank you.
Because tomorrow the jobs report will come out, and we already got an early indicator that it is not likely to be very good. I do now want to talk to some other terrific reporters that we have assembled today. Peter Hamby of Puck, Jeff Mason of Reuters, Mariana Sotomayor of The Washington Post. Thank you all for being here. Jeff Mason, I want to start with you.
Listen up, liberal, crashes
you have
the economy.
The White House for a few years on all kinds of policy, especially and including economic policy, and you were covering it during the first Trump go-round. So I think what Matt said about this being part of the strategy, not a bug, but this is kind of the way that the president likes to put his tariff policy out there, is true. But because there is so much, and it's already on top of a crisis of affordability in the United States, this feels different right now.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I would piggyback on to something that Matt said.
Bro, it turns out when you don't have gay people in charge, the economy crashes too, just like the planes. It turns out DEI was holding everything together. We all were so disrespectful to the polycule enjoyers. We were so disrespectful to our trans allies. I am going to be extra woke, okay? I am going to be the rattiest of rad libs. Do you understand me? DEI or die, okay? Straight up. Straight up. We need at least one a paraplegic, a black trans person who is in a polycule at every corporate executive board to fix this right now. This problem is not going away, okay? And I don't even mean like a person that deserves that position. No, I'm not even saying that. We need to actually do DEI, as in the way that Republicans consider what DEI is, which is apparently when people who don't deserve positions of power get to those positions of power. I'm gonna start hiring people off the street as long as they are not a straight white man. Okay? That's what we need to do. We're not stopping. It's not even mandatory DEI now, mandatory DEI tomorrow. And not even like the normal version of DEI, which is just to refuse to stop doing the real DEI, which is for white people in general. Like, no, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like the Republican version of DEI. That's what we need to do.
Said that in addition to the volatility in the markets, which average Americans will note in their 401ks and investment accounts, but it goes a lot further than that for businesses. As Matt was saying, to plan.
I am trans. Put me in charge of something important immediately. Pronto. Okay? That's it. You don't even have to have qualifications. Just turn around and be like, I'm trans immediately. Okay, you're the head of the Department of Transportation. We have to do this. Yesterday, we have to fix this problem. Okay? We have to fix this problem instantly.
For your goods, to plan for what products need to be purchased, for what supplies need to be purchased, for where you want to keep your factory, for where you want to have your headquarters. All of those things factor into business decisions that are affected by this volatility, and the volatility is so massive because the president keeps changing his mind back and forth. I suspect rather that that's one of the reasons that the Dow is going down again today. I mean,
wait, ain't no way. Trump paused tariffs on Canada, USMCA trade until April 2nd. Is this a meme? He also went back on the Canada ones too? What is going on, man? Yo, my favorite thing is imagining a world where Biden did this and how the Republicans would be having aneurysms on television every day to be like, this guy's obviously brain broken. Like, his brain is not working. What the hell? Dementia Biden. He's asleep at the wheel. He's like, we're going to have a recession, blah, 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 all this shit. But like when Trump does it, they're like, excellent move, sir. Excellent move. A brilliant 5D chess play, sir. You are killing it, sir. Incredible. This is also not to be too much of a nothing ever happens guy, okay? But like, obviously you can't fuck up the bag. The entire reason for the American government to exist is so that they can enforce capitalism and the hierarchies that are designed under capitalism. You can't get ahead of that. You can't kind of break that toy for everybody, no matter how charismatic you foresee yourself to be. This is also part of the reason why I was initially saying, like, I don't think Donald Trump is going to reverse the trajectory of Ukraine all too dramatically. I was wrong on that. I copped to that. Okay. Having said that, of course, I always said it was because of the terms, and it was the terms dictated by the battlefield that would definitely motivate Americans to take a different position on Ukraine, or at least try to do a managed ceasefire negotiation and bring that to the table. Donald Trump clearly is going above and beyond on that front, even though a lot of the policies that he is actively talked about, aside from, you know, openly gaslighting and openly yelling about Zelensky being a dictator or whatever, the other stuff in terms of like mineral deals or whatever, that is the same principles that came from the administration prior. Your Ukraine predictions flop because you continue to reject your Pontic roots. Yeah, except everyone always forgets the Ukraine positions that I've maintained that have not flopped, which was when Ukraine had all the leverage, they should have done a, you know, negotiated ceasefire, and that probably would have made sure that Ukraine maintained more territory and also not have, you know, hundreds of thousands of casualties in the process. People just seemingly forget about all those other things that I have routinely talked about and only focus on the one aspect of my initial analysis. We're not going to talk about it anyway. Yeah, I'm officially moving, aside from Vladipoo, I'm officially moving Donald Trump to the madness category as well. He's one of the few unique people that that I think is indecipherable in the way that he operates. Okay? How many thousands of federal government employees have been fired and then rehired subsequently in the past month? Like, it's got to be more than 10,000. I know for a fact that there are, like, he just keeps saying he's going to fire every federal employee, and then they go, oh, turns out they were actually doing some really significant stuff. Turns out they were actually working on some fairly important things. Oops, my bad. And then they just come back and they're like, please come back. We are rehiring you. Meanwhile, every dumbass Republican dick rider is running around being like, oh, Mr. President, you're killing it. Like, how? I really want to understand how, I don't know, like the Asmongold fan base reacts to the Trump's turning on and off the tariff faucets. Like, what will it take for them to go, okay, maybe I don't fully comprehend what he's doing here. It's not like he's explaining why he's doing this. It's not like the reasoning for why he's doing the tariffs is actually a normal reason. He just says it's fentanyl and then moves on. Look at this about the hiring/firing. This is 100% in response to the jobs report leak where it shows Doge firing is tanking the economy, lol. Yeah, of course it is. I've been saying this for the past month. Breaking, Trump has said he is not looking at the stock market. Okay, stop. That's not real. Yeah, I don't think people understand that the federal government the federal government, especially if you factor in the Department of Justice as well, is a pretty large hiring body, okay? It's one of the largest. And it's a jobs program. And when you do mass layoffs of like some of the last middle class jobs that exist in this country.
Let us know if any of
Okay. What is this? President Trump? Oh, we're waiting on him signing executive orders. We're waiting for the tape to be released.
that might impact.
Okay. Breaking news from Newswire. Trump, I'm not even looking at the stock market. No way, bro. Oh, my God. At this point, I want the tariffs. Fuck off and give me what I want. Wait, what? Why? Just give me the tariffs, goddammit. The uncertainty is killing me. It's a real will they, won't they situation. Okay? It's a real will they, won't they situation. All right, I got to pee. While I do that, here's the moment.